So I ain't trying to hear nothing about no child molestation. I was there. So if I was there and you dealing with a child molester, as you saying, 200 counts, I have everybody that grew up in all the Mufmi Noons and Mufmi Nancies that grew up in my era can all say, why not me if you're dealing with a mass child molester when we was in his house?
But talking about my disposition, and you have to understand that Brother Polight evolved greatly because of Dr. York. So there's no way I'm going to say anything inflammatory, disrespectful, or contentious, because the respect and the training that I've been given by a general, by a sovereign grand commander, by a supreme grand hierophant, by a master teacher, I can't do that. I got too much respect for the master teacher before the public, to come out before the public and misrepresent how he's educated me to deal with my family. The Nuwapians are my family. They don't have to embrace me. I embrace them.
I'll give you one. Bushwick Avenue, our largest bookstore is exactly 32 degrees from Tamaray. I'll give you that much. That's all I give you. I'll let you know that. But you know, when you under the Supreme Lodge, you know what I'm saying, when you're dealing with you know, Masonic doctrine, none of that truly, you know what I'm saying, none of that truly has anything to do with your liberation as a people, only as freeing as the mind. And you have to make a first decision to liberate your mind, liberate your mentality before you start going into saying, okay, I'm ready to join the lodge. To join the Blue House is a big day for any Nuwapian man. Brother Polight, get the camera with him, man. Get me in this man right here. What would be...
Hold on, let me move this. You don't want them angry. You don't want them angry. I do. That's why I be doing this shit to bother you niggas. Put this on Instagram.
Yo, my one question to you, and this is a question that I know many Nuwapians want me to ask. You know what I'm saying? What would be your reaction? I'm going to formulate it in my own way. What would be your reaction to the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, knowing his current situation? What would be your reaction to his release from prison?
Oh man, I would cry. I would jump for joy that black man came out. He's only the man that saved my life. And we always talk about the day that he comes home. That's one of our main conversations. We have a special notation we put at the end of our letters every time to solidify the reality, the visualization that we learn in the AEO, that he will come out. I have to see him coming out. The footprints in the sand. Those of you that's in the culture, y'all know what we're talking about. You feel what I'm saying? When the footprints disappear, but he's holding. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is, but we have our thing that's personal that I always visualize him coming out. I mean, if a person saved your life and made you a better man, made you a family man, when you was about to lose it all, of course you would want to see him in person.
We broke him out, actually.
Definitely.
I don't want to go into my thoughts.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, so my name is Tariq Noel. I actually was raised in the community from back in the Ansar days to upstate New York to Georgia. I helped build the land. I grew up in the community. Actually, growing up, Malachi York was my father, because I found out about my real father in 1999. So I have two little sisters that's his kids. So growing up and having them, I didn't have, you know, so I really grew up in this. We left in 2001. My mom found out what was going on. I mean, obviously, I knew what, you know, and everything came out, the case, all that. Now we're like 15 years later, and there's people saying, like, basically I just came out because there's no face to put with, there's no victim, there's alleged victims. There's nobody that you can say, okay, well, this is a person, this is a real person. You know, so that's kind of, you know, I really wasn't expecting this, but that's a little bit of background. Victim in this case would be, you know, I went to court, I testified, I told my story. So, you know, it's just what happened to me. So to say victimized, like at the time I was young, I knew something wasn't right. You know, I don't really have time to go into the whole picture of things. But yeah.
Have you witnessed anything as far as Dr. York? What has he done to your sisters? Has he touched you? Has he molested them? That's what we want to know. We want to get to the real issue of it. What has he done to you and your sisters personally? What have you witnessed?
Okay, so, I mean, he molested me, like, he molested me, like, times to me, but the next year it could have happened molestation, like have sex. You can answer that question for yourself. I'm telling you.
Said he testified.
I'm telling you. So that's and I feel like it's important because if people are heading on a righteous path and they're supposed to be heading the right way, they need the information.
Tell the whole truth. Go ahead.
Let's get it. We gotta free Dr. York, and damn it, if you feel he is guilty, right? He needs to be judged by a jury of his peers. He needs to be dealt with by the black nation.
So there's, for instance, when people say he couldn't have had it 1,000 times, so if I'm one person and you have 20 or so other people, they're going to say, well, if you was doing this once a week and then they multiply that by 20, but so they say it's 1,000 or something. But that doesn't mean that, in a year it could have happened 4 times to me, but the next year it could have happened molestation, like have sex.
Left, I'll say. Like when it started getting to a point to where Malachi York was violating you or your sisters. I'm not sure if you mentioned anything with your mom, but like what was the events that led up to it? And the reason why I asked this is so that for those that did not see you on the Dr. Phil show, for those that don't know that you testified, now is an opportunity to refresh everybody. Just like they trying to sign the petitions to get this bastard out of jail, now we got to refresh everybody's memory of just how diabolical he was. So I want you to give us the background of what transpired with York.
Yeah, so for me, because I, growing up in Brooklyn in the Ansar days, so we moved to upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
And in moving to upstate New York, my birthday was coming out.
Okay.
I was turning 7 years old. So, we went out, we got some gifts. I came home, I had a birthday party, and then after all of that, then he had like a trailer outside, like a kind of the trailers the movie set people use.
Okay.
A little mobile trailers.
Okay.
So I was sent there. One of the people involved in the case, one of the women involved in the case, walked me there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we, to bring me inside. So once I come inside, there's cartoon porno on the TV.
You said cartoon porno?
Yeah.
You know why it was cartoon porno, right?
What's that?
I said, do you know why it was cartoon porno?
Because I was a child, and
absolutely.
The SpongeBob come on, and they're SpongeBob.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to react to that, so they just
right.
you have candy in a white van or something.
Right, exactly.
Appeal to children.
Because that's what and that's what predators do. They make it appeal to the eye, so that way it makes you more susceptible. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, so now now this is on the TV. And then the girl that brought me there is starting to, undress my pants and start fondling me and all that.
Now, when you say girl, I just want to be. When you say girl, you mean like a young girl, or was she older?
Okay, so at the time she was a teenager.
Okay.
So she was a teenager. She also was a victim that grew up.
Right.
Right. In that. And there would be a system where he uses people that was involved in that to get other people to be involved in that. She started to, undress me and to start to fondle me and to correct, and then as this is going on, in the corner of my eye, I see him get undressed or whatever. So this is, and that's the first night, the first incident. And then so from 7 to 14 years old, that 7-year period, because I say 14 years old because that's when I left. That's when we left that place. So for that 14 years, it's been going on. Different times, different experiences. So, and then my 2 older sisters that's not his biological kids also was molested by him. And my older sister is 10 years older than me, so hers started earlier on. Now, my other is a year older than me. So, hers started, around, my age maybe.
Right.
So that those are the involvements. So it happened to me upstate, more than one time. And then when we moved down to Georgia, it happened to me in Georgia more than one time.
Right? The reason why I'm calling it a lesson is because Poppy did the same thing you did, only to change his mind later, which is what Sarnetta pointed out. And what that was is, they asked Poppy if he was mad at the members of the Zulu Nation. Poppy said no. Then over time, he changed his position on that, only because of two things, which I'm going to tell you. The first thing is, you just said how people tried to come to you to try to get you to not do it before the trial, right? Yes. That's how you know that you should be angry with them and that organization, because they really was trying to get you to be quiet so that not only York could stay up, but that the Nubians could stay up too. Instead of just letting the whole thing fall to the ground, because the king of that organization is molesting children.
What would be your reaction to his release from prison?
Oh man, I would cry.